You just heard and just saw the presentation from Manish Nagpal. And basically, the next step after you have detached the vitreous, different techniques, and different kind of cases you just now had. After that, the next thing is the staining, the staining of the either epiretinal membrane or the internal limiting membrane. The dyes which have been used for this purpose, we have, the indocyanine green, at this moment, the trypan blue, the triamcinolone, and the brilliant blue green, which is very commonly used for staining these ILM and also the epiretinal membrane. The rationale of using this dye is that there is a better identification. More so, it is very useful for the beginners because they know the color of the epiretinal membrane and also the ILM, so that when they are peeling it, they know they can see the contrast, and it is easier for them to learn and do the ILM peeling. The advantages of these dyes are that there is a lower risk of mechanical damage to the retina, and there is an easier peeling by changing nature of the internal limiting membrane. The disadvantage is that there is a toxicity which is often talked about, especially with the indocyanine green. The different kind of instruments are used. I think lots of people use ILM forceps, and some people use Tano's DDMS to initially, have the a break in the internal limiting membrane, and later they can, carry on with the, the kind of arexis which you do over the retina. Some people use the bent MBR just to make a small nick in the internal limiting membrane, and then get hold of this and remove this. And of course, the size will matter. Some people, in the larger macular hole, they will try to make a larger size of, peeling of the ILM, so that the traction over a larger period of the larger portion of the retina is removed, and the hole closes. The site of starting this removal of this membrane could be, temporal. Usually I make a temporal to fovea, and it's maybe 1 disc diameter from there, which is relatively an avascular area. The dyes which are containing iodine, they contain 0.5 to 1.25%, and the contact time is 10 to 60 seconds. Although the recent dyes which I am using is membrane blue, and there you don't have to wait. You just push the dye. I'll show you the video. Push the dye immediately, and then you can do the vitrectomy, remove all the dye, and do the peeling. The advantage of this indocyanine green or ICG is that it has got a high affinity to the internal limiting membrane, and therefore there is a better staining. And this staining, of course, facilitates the peeling of the internal limiting membrane. The disadvantage is that sometimes it may need fluid exchange. Some people use air fluid exchange to push the dye and to have a good contact with the internal limiting membrane, so that there is a good staining. And the other thing is, the adverse effect of this indocyanine green. Lots of reports are there regarding the toxicity of indocyanine green. And there is a damage that is reported in the literature regarding the peripheral visual field defects and damage to the RP. And there are few reports where they have indicated that there is an optic nerve atrophy as well. Just to show you a video of there's a case of a macular hole where there is a indocyanine green ICG has been injected, and there is a staining of the internal limiting membrane, and I am using this ILM forceps, and as I told you, this is advantage is this, that when the ILM is stained, the underneath the retina become very clear, and therefore it's a very good tool when you want to remove the internal limiting membrane. Next, coming to the trypan blue, and this is also one of the dyes which are used by the vitreoretinal surgeons, and this is better for epiretinal membrane staining rather than the internal limiting membrane. The concentration is 0.06 to 0.20%, and the contact time is a little bit more as compared to the ICG, The disadvantage is that it often requires a fluid exchange, and comparatively it stains less as compared to the ICG. The side effects are dose dependent, and they are not proved, and it's not that much toxic. It's not toxic to the retina. Just to show you a video of the Trypan Blue. You can either pinch the interlimiting membrane with your ILM forceps, and then you can go and do the kind of rhexis which is done for the capsule. It's kind of a capsulorhexis. Basically, it is a ILM rhexis which is done. And then we have triamcinolone, which is not truly a stain, but definitely it facilitates the peeling of the interlimiting membrane. The advantage of triamcinolone is that triamcinolone you can also use for the core vitrectomy, and also use to detach the posterior hyalite, just like you saw just now. Manish showed you many videos regarding the induction of PVD with triamcinolone, and then after the PVD induction you can put a drop of triamcinolone over the retina, and you can use it for peeling the ILM. The disadvantage with this triamcinolone is the two disadvantages. One is the rise in intraocular pressure. This is called glaucoma, and the other one is possibility of having a cataract, and therefore this is something which should be kept in mind. But lots of people are using triamcinolone. The amount is very small, and the chances of having glaucoma is very less. Of course, the long-term chances of having cataract is there. And people who are using this triamcinolone, they are very comfortable, and they can do it very well without any problem. So it all depends the experience you have with this triamcinolone. In this case, there's too much of triamcinolone over the retina, and nevertheless you can do a good peeling, as you can see here. You can extend the rhexis, make a larger rhexis. It all depends. A different kind of ILM is there. Sometimes it is very elastic, and sometimes it is very strongly adherent, and sometimes it is very very dense. So the various kinds of these ILMs are there. Once you do the ILM peeling, you understand the nature of these different types of stains which are used. And as mentioned here, the ICG it stains very well. Only thing is the toxicity which is reported in the literature, and then we have this triamcinolone possible effect of the glaucoma and the cataract. Of course, you can use the Trypan Blue where you have to have a longer contact time. We did a study. We have done this for indocyanine green, triamcinolone, and Trypan Blue, and we have found that the results, all the three dyes are effective in ILM peeling in macular hole. Three dyes have comparable anatomical outcome. However, the multifocal ERG study indicates better electrophysiological function with Trypan Blue and triamcinolone as compared to the indocyanine green. This currently we are using this brilliant blue green, and also membrane blue, which is manufactured by the DORC. In fact, we did a multicentric study, and we found that the effect of this ICG, TB, and BBG on bovine retinal functions, and this shows BBG has a faster recovery as compared to other dyes. And this is also, the BBG has a lesser toxicity if you correlate it with the dose. Just to show you a video of the brilliant blue green, which we use. This is a dye where you don't have to wait. Once you push the dye in the vitreous, neither you have to close the infusion, and it doesn't take any time. This is a 23G vitrectomy, 3 ports as usual, and then you do the PVD induction. You can use a triamcinolone, or even without that, you can do the PVD induction. I think PVD induction is the first step in this, either removal of the removal of the ILM, especially in cases of macular hole. This is the dye. I push the entire dye inside the vitreous cavity, and immediately I remove the dyes and then do the ILM peeling. So this gives you a very good stain, and without wasting any time, without closing the infusion. This is a DDMS, Danos diamond dusted scraper. You can use it to make the rhexis all along, and you can see the kind of contrast we have got with this dye. It's a very good contrast and very uniform, and therefore it is very helpful in the removal of the internal limiting membrane. This is the commonly now we are using this dye, and this is very effective in staining the internal limiting membrane and gives a very good contrast, and it gives a very good visualization. So this is a dye which has a very small, there is no contact time at all, and you can push this dye. As I told you, this is a heavy dye, and there is no need for a fluid exchange, and there is no waiting time for staining, as I told you earlier. The conclusion is that ideal dye is the one which stains ILM adequately, and it is free of toxicity. The currently used dyes like membrane blue or brilliant blue green is a good ILM staining, and there is no toxicity reports with this. Thank you very much for this opportunity.